everyone to our podcast episode 7th of August. Today's host is 7 Thug, so I'm gonna stay quiet and Sid's gonna take over.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You sound fine.
Okay.
I'm beautiful.
I just looked at my mic, and my mic looked like it just got decimated in like a vicious tornado or something. So I was like,
Oh damn.
But how are you guys doing, Blowfish and Hash?
I'm pretty good, man. I've got my sister's wedding soon, bro. In a couple of days, like this week.
Question, Hash, do you ever change from that T-shirt?
No, okay, look, yeah. Basically,
No, genuine question here.
I have
Every podcast is always the same T-shirt.
because
For the most part, yeah.
I work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and because I've been at this shop for 4 years now. I have over 20 of these T-shirts, and because my little brother worked there, he got his own. Like, you get like 5 to 10 when you join. So I genuinely have enough of this.
5 to 10.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I have
that.
at least 20. I have about 20 T-shirts of these. I'm not
Can
even
you prove
joking.
that right now?
No, because the laundry thing is all the way at the bottom.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Laundry,
Love that.
yeah.
You know what? Next podcast, I'll prove it. And I'll count.
You know
all
what?
of it.
That's so crazy, dude. Michael Jackson's corpse is right there in my closet.
Okay, fuck you.
Oh, yeah?
I can't prove it because, if I take him out, it's like a fragile thing.
Yeah, you don't want to damage
Laundry,
it.
I'm pretty
You
sure
don't want to
that's
damage him.
TOS.
Yeah, it's TOS. I just can't do it.
It's because I got sponsored. This is actually like a phone company, guys. And the truth is, I
Oh,
get
right.
paid for this,
Is
yeah.
that why
Yeah,
you
yeah,
work
true.
every, what's
Yeah.
it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, it's like a thing. Right? The truth, I actually don't work for them. I just get sponsored by them. I'm a big deal, but you guys do that.
Okay.
You guys do.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right.
Okay. But welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the podcast. I mean, it's been a minute. I feel like every time we do this podcast, it just feels like ages since I last talked to you guys. But today we're talking about something that's kind of not so much for me, but for you two as streamers who stream consistently
It's
and
true.
for long periods of times, right? Do you guys ever feel guilty doing leisure stuff, like taking vacations from streaming, or when you could be streaming?
I don't
Do you
know.
want to go first, Hash?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
feel like I
Yeah,
do. I feel like everything in my mind has to now be earned. I have such a fucked up way of thinking about stuff that if I'm eating a cake, earn it. If I'm fucking anything I do has to be earned. Like if I'm gonna go out to eat with my friends and I'm gonna not eat for the beginning of the day, which that one's quite common actually. But like, oh, I'm gonna go out and do this, or I'm gonna watch.
Do you
anime all
eat? Do you
day.
eat breakfast?
No, I've never eaten breakfast.
Yo,
I don't fuck with
same.
that.
Never. Really?
Yeah,
See,
I don't get hungry.
I'm a very avid breakfast eater, as in like my favorite meal and like the best food that I make is breakfast. Like my breakfast is fucking top tier. Everything else is dog shit.
Bro,
Right?
I'm
If
the
I could, I'd
opposite,
eat
bro.
breakfast. I'd eat breakfast 3 times a day if I could, or breakfast meals 3 times a day if I could, right? But I think about for past month or so, or a month and a half, I haven't eaten breakfast before doing something and earning it. And it makes sense because we're animals, right? And animals have the whole, you have to hunt for your food.
Hell
You have
yeah.
to work for it.
Hell
yeah?
yeah.
And it kind of puts in a little bit of a reward system. If you do hard work, you get rewarded and you get into the habit of it, and it's actually better for your life. And yeah, I started doing that been about a month and a half or so. It's actually been going pretty well.
So, question then: what do you need to get done to eat your breakfast? What is considered like you've earned that shit?
So it's either gym or work, such as like actual work or housework, because I work very early in the mornings. I wake up
Yeah.
at 6 a.m. I start work at 6 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm doing bakery, which is actually 5 a.m. So I have to wake up at 4:30 a.m.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
get to work at 5 a.m. and then I finish off wherever. Today actually I started work at 6 a.m. and I finished 6 p.m. which is why just
Yeah.
before we started
You were
the
eating.
call and stuff, I was
Yeah.
still eating dinner.
That makes sense.
Right,
That makes sense. Yeah.
And I actually only took half an hour break as well, and I took that like around like 2 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there, because I was like, I don't know, I don't feel like I earned it enough. Like I'm really like thinking about it now, which is good and bad. It's good because it's gave me that, oh, you need to hunt, you need to work for your food, but it's bad because I'm trying to do powerlifting and I need to eat 3 meals a day minimum. But so right now I'm kind of losing weight when I don't want to be
When
losing
you
weight.
should be.
Yeah.
At worst, maintaining, right? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm
That
worse
makes
at
sense.
maintaining, but yeah, it is what it is. But
Nah.
yeah, either work, housework, gym's a big one. Yeah, but just basically like that.
I feel like personally that's the right way to think about shit, though. Like, I feel like there's not. I think it's.
100%, yeah.
I think that's the right way to think about shit. But like, I feel like a part of the reason to why I also feel like guilty and shit is because like, I don't know. Like, I just kind of don't like people and shit anymore. But that doesn't want to sound like oh my god, I'm so cool for everyone. It's just like I feel like if people I sound like a judgmental prick right now, right? But I genuinely feel like this. If I look at like a new group of people, and I meet them, and I'm like, yo, these people genuinely have like no way to help me or me to help them. I'm like, they shouldn't waste their time. I'm not wasting my time. I just give up on that shit. I'll look for any excuse to go home, any excuse to not get involved, you know, or interact. I'm like, you're fucking boring. Like, you're so like not interesting, and that's true. Is that what?
With new interactions, you say that, right? If they can help you and not, are you still open to having new interactions, and do you have it in a large scale still, or do you have this predetermined notion that this person is probably not going to be useful for me?
I think
Very businessman mindset.
I think I look for like, it sounds fucked up, but I look for like common interest. If we don't even have it, I guess every human does that, right? Naturally, when we look for friends,
Yeah.
common interest. But I'm talking like very specific. If they're into some sort of like creative bullshit or sing anything like that, which isn't the stereotype, right? Which when you think of a job, it doesn't come to mind. You know what I'm saying? Like those things, I'm like, oh, okay, you're quite interesting. Let's talk about it. How's it going for you? All that stuff. But when it's just like people are into partying and fucking all that shit, I'm just like, you're so boring, man. Like I personally am an old man in that
I
sense.
felt that.
You know what I mean? I've never been into partying. Maybe because I can't.
Welcome
party.
to my world, Hash.
Yeah.
Shut up, Hash.
What do you mean?
No. This guy's. I've never been into partying. This guy came all the way from Kent to Portsmouth.
Wait, I was gonna finish. Let me finish.
Club.
I have been clubbing before. But like I've never. Maybe because I don't know.
How long's the journey, Hash? Kent to Portsmouth. How long's the journey?
Yeah, now
By
I'm curious.
drive, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours just to
long.
go clubbing.
Holy fuck.
But think
And
about
this guy's
it.
saying, I've
Think about
never
it.
wanted to party.
No, but think about it. That was I came down 2 or 3 times to Portsmouth, right? So I made a big like drive commute, whatever you want to call it, at least 2-3 times. I can't remember top of my head the exact number, but it's around that much, right? Let's even say 3 times. That was all in first year. I never did it in second year.
First year.
Because
Okay,
and I actually did first year in maths with finance, and I changed my degree. So this is like first before my actual degree today year as well. So I changed my degree after doing a year, and I was and then after that I realized I feel like I came down more for the social aspect, because you know like everyone goes through that. See, you went to Portsmouth, but you had all your old friends with you, like 90%. I had like.
Well, it was one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah.
I feel like I was too close to home. Like, you know,
I had
you
the
get
opposite.
too comfortable.
I was practically like 1 or 2 people I knew from prior and that's it. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to see the people I'm used to seeing prior from college and shit before going to university. So it was like, oh, that's why I did it. But then I realized that, like quickly that okay, I'm actually not into partying. Don't get. I still had fun sometimes, but it's not me. Like in Kent, I've been twice. That's it. And I've been here.
But I feel like in
3
Kent,
years.
you live with your girlfriend and like a bunch of your old friends. So like I don't like.
But they go.
So,
I'm old man. I'm just like, nah, I'm alright. I'm actually an old man.
Like,
Seriously, I'm just like, yeah, it's too boring, lads. Like, I'd rather watch.
but
a
like, who
movie.
really goes out except your girlfriend?
Well, I mean,
I don't see Soldier Boy going out.
Yeah, but B-Beck and that goes. I'm like, nah.
I don't see Soldier Boy going out the house.
Damn, that bad? I didn't know
he's a
that
nerd,
bad.
man. He's a proper. But he does if everyone else is down. I'm like, nah. I'm like, he's more than me. I promise you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I feel like people are boring. Do you know? Do anyone else feel that? Like, they just blowfish. Do you? Am I the only dick here? Like.
I'm not gonna lie, Hash. Like when you brought up that whole story of like, hey, in first year I actually like went to go party, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. In my first year too, in university, like I did the same thing. After first year, I was like, is that all there is to partying? And I got fucking bored, so I stopped doing it and I just hung out with like my regular group of friends, right? Like, and I wouldn't say like it's a year. I was like, I wouldn't say
But were
that's
your
just me
friends?
saying like a month.
Can I ask? Were your friends also on a similar wavelength, saying they were kind of sick of like going partying and stuff as well?
Yeah,
Or
like well,
yeah,
we stopped doing it. Not only that, but like, you know, it's expensive to go out too, right? That's the thing. Is like we also just wanted to genuinely save more
well, in
money.
Portsmouth,
That's another
If
it
thing.
you
was like
drink,
£1
I was like,
Muslims,
per drink.
in Toronto, it's
Muslims
fucking
win here.
expensive.
We don't spend money on alcohol. So if you drink, it's expensive. I
No,
spend
but
two
yeah,
pounds
I
fifty.
that's the
can
thing.
I actually have like a Muslim
I was
friend.
like, I
I
wasn't
remember
saying
we
it. I'm
talked
saying
about
it
this,
from
right?
age.
Muslim people, they don't drink, right? And smoking is frowned upon, but they do shisha often.
Yeah,
To
Like
say
that shit hurts my
what is
head.
up with
shisha,
that?
they just
I was gonna say,
Have you
yeah.
guys done shisha before?
Oh yeah, I've done shisha.
Does it
before.
not hurt
no, I
your head?
haven't. I haven't.
You
Shisha, I
haven't
did it. I
said?
did it
Oh,
once, and
No, no.
my head couldn't take
wow.
it.
I will never do it.
That's what I'm
I'm a
saying.
massive
I did it
germaphobe.
once.
You're sharing
I
that
was
with like
gonna
5 other
say.
people.
Now, the Sid, you have your own thingy.
You have your own thing.
You basically, yeah, you don't literally share the same pipe, bubs. Basically,
Yeah, you.
at the end, there's like a
No, but
bit
isn't
which...
like the fluidy like bit and stuff like that? Isn't that all mixed in together?
No, no, no,
Like,
no,
isn't there
no, no,
backwash in that?
no, 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 no.
There actually
You
isn't.
all, yeah, you
You
can't.
know?
It's like you suck
I-
your own. It's like this long your piece, right? And you all get given one, and you put yours in when it's your turn. Do you get it? So you don't obviously you don't share it, but that's weird, man. Imagine
Yeah,
just
that's
you're like
weird.
indirectly kissing everyone in turns. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I always thought
No,
it was
that's not what
like.
you did.
Nah, that's just nasty, regardless, bro. The way that you're fucking
No,
up your lungs and
Hash, I was
shit.
gonna
That's
say like,
crazy.
yeah, I did shisha once and I wasn't a huge fan because it just gave me a headache. I was
Bro,
like,
I
well,
was
I
dead.
can't
I
do
was
it.
like
Good.
passing out after one blow. I was like, this
Yeah,
is
I'm
not
I
like,
do
it.
heroin though.
Oh, how's that? I've never done heroin, bro. You tell me.
Oh,
Oh,
nah.
yeah, that's
Never.
normal.
That's pretty normal, yeah. Oh Lord, I've actually never
Yeah.
done heroin. Funny enough.
No, cause okay. For us, it was first year we went out a lot, right?
Yeah,
And then at the start of the year, especially, and then we kind of died down. Everything died down, and we're like, oh, it's so boring, it's so boring. And then second year, me specifically, I was like, I do not want to go out. I do not want to go out. But my ex at the time, her friends really like going out, and she really liked going out. And then me and her, we used to like not argue, but she used to always be like, I wish you'd like to go out with me.
Yeah.
So I would end up going out with her. But then my friends really like going out as well because they were single and they'd like to meet girls. But I was like, dude, I really just don't want to go out. But every time everyone around me wanted to go out, so I still went out. It's like it's the quote I say, birds of a feather flock together. All
Yep.
the people I was around with
True.
wanted to go out and stuff like that. So did I. I feel like if you guys were in a different scenario where your friends were actively trying to pursue going out and going clubbing and drinking and stuff like that, you guys would be more inclined to doing that. So, right? Because the way that happens is you might have had good experiences, bad experiences. If you go out more, you're gonna have more good experiences, and typically you're gonna remember those good experiences, and you're gonna talk about it, saying, "Oh, I remember that time when da 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 fell and cracked her head open, and she had to go to the
Yeah.
A&E late at night."
Yeah.
You remember Hash?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I have those moments too with old friends.
Yeah, that shit crazy. But people, yeah, I can actually see that. Maybe if my group of friends, they're like all nerds, by the way. We just sit and play games all day. Sid
Yeah.
knows them as well. We're
Yeah.
literally all nerds. If maybe if they were like party type people, maybe if my girlfriend's party type person, my girlfriend likes dancing because she's into dancing and music, but I don't think she likes partying because she doesn't like claustrophobic spaces. So it's like,
I feel like she needs to go out as well because of the role she had in a society.
oh yeah, sorry,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So she was also
Yeah.
president of
I feel
society.
like that was the big, yeah.
And
Okay.
in uni, in our societies have to always host events like clubbing events and shit like that. So if the president's not there, how can you expect anyone else to come? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, that's very true actually. Yeah, I forget about that.
I feel like that was a big like factor as to why she was going out a lot more, because she needs to be, as a president, she needs to be there, the face of the society, the person who's leading it typically. So there.
Yep.
Very true, very true, very true.
Very true. Very true.
It's crazy. I know Hash's girlfriend more than Hash does.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh no.
Whatever.
This is one secret that I have over Hash, and I still have it on Discord. And it's the thing.
What?
Hmm?
You're
I have a
something
secret
over
about
Hash?
Hash and his girlfriend, and I don't know if Hash
Okay.
remembers, but it's the thing. If Hash ever pisses me off, I'm just gonna like one day
You're
I'm
just gonna say it.
say,
Okay.
fuck it. I'll tell Poonam about it, and Hash gonna be like, fuck.
I swear, I don't know what it is. I can't remember.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
I don't
Is it that
remember it.
bad?
I
Oh,
don't
Lord.
remember. I
It's not
swear to
that
God.
bad. It's not that bad, but
Okay.
for Hash, it's that bad.
For Hash, it's that bad.
For Hash, the situation he's in, it's that bad.
Say it.
But
Oh, damn.
okay. Moving forward. So what was your answer, Blowfish? Do you feel guilty doing leisure activities? Because you talked about how your friends and stuff like don't really go out and stuff. But
Mhm.
what was your answer for the question?
Oh, for my question, so like honestly, yeah, I'm on that same wavelength with Hash. Like I do feel guilty, but at the same time, when I'm there, so say if I were like to take a break for a good reason, like you know, one of the few times I cancel stream is just to, you know, hang out with homies I haven't seen in a while. I do feel a bit guilty doing that, but like at the same time, the other half of me is like, you've been working hard enough, dude, fucking go. You know what I mean? Like have fun. And then the moment that I actually like do the activity, like I tend to forget all about it. You know, I'm with also Hash in the sense that like, you know, a lot of things I feel like I need to like work for now, which is yeah, it's not a great mindset.
Could I
I'll
ask?
be honest.
Could I ask both of you? What do you mean by work and feeling guilty? Because yeah, because both of you said yeah, I feel guilty doing. You know, I feel guilty, but I need to work for it. How can you work for two completely different things? What is your work and what are you guilty for? Hang out with your friends. You're guilty for hanging out with your friends.
Yeah, like guilty in a sense of like,
How
hey,
so?
like I don't know. To me, I guess it's like the work part. You know, the work part in Blowfish is all like, hey, you should be like, you know, doing more things, putting yourself out there more, right? It's like, what are you doing over here? You're slacking off, right? But at the same time, the other half, like the humane side, is more just like, no, it's good to work hard, but at the same time, it's fine to take breaks and see people that you vibe with, right? And you know, like the moment that I realize that, then I'm like, okay, then I can get out of that headspace saying like, I don't need to feel guilty of this shit. Hell yeah, let's fucking hang out, you know? And then I just kind of tend to forget about it. Then the next day it's, you know, back to the same old thing, right? Like, I guess, yeah, like, it's more just like, you should be doing more. You feel like you're not doing enough at the end of the day. And, like, it's like, and you're doing this, like, what are you doing? But then, you know, again, I'm like, I think it's fine to take a break once in a while. Like, I need to keep reminding myself of that.
I
Like,
mean, it's not necessarily taking a break either. Like,
yeah, it's
if
more
it's
just
just like if you're hanging out with your friends, then I wouldn't consider that a break. I'd consider a break like, say, you stream 3 times a week, right, Blowfish?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like saying, oh, this week I'm not gonna stream, like because I'm gonna go Hawaii with my friends or something.
Yeah.
I'd
Fair
consider that a break. I wouldn't consider you taking like 2 hours out of your day that you would have done editing and posting on TikTok, opposed to getting a drink with one of your old friends. I wouldn't say that's a break. I feel like that's just normal life. Like,
Fair enough. Okay.
yeah.
I
The
don't know,
thing is, I
feel like
think Sid is right, but I think it's hard to do that in the moment because in my mind,
Yeah.
right, I like in my mind, I'm like I feel so fucking guilty and shit. I'm like, I talk myself out of it because I'm like I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then I get like low-key anxious about it, right? And low-key start worrying, and I'm like, okay, fuck. And then I start feeling like not overwhelmed, but like oh, like come on, man, you gotta get your shit in, get, and then that makes me sit down, open up my phone, and I might just be scrolling through random TikToks which may be inspirational. I might fucking load up a random video on YouTube or watch a video on like how to hit the YouTube algorithm BS. You know, I'm like any random shit, but I'm like, okay, you know what, man? Like don't lose track, stay focused, and start it, and that. But I feel like that's also my brain really. Like I don't think that would have made any fucking difference if I did that 10-minute of TikTok or not. It's just that in my brain, I'm like, okay, you have to do this. And I like worry myself. And then if I don't do it, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I get that.
That's it. Like, it's done. Hash. Like, that's it, bro. You've missed it. And that's where I'm like, okay. Yeah, you're right, man. If I went out 2 hours to eat food with someone, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, okay. But I would feel wrong after. Oh, fuck, I spent 2 hours here, but I couldn't do this. Like, what are you doing, Hash? You spent 2 hours there, but you couldn't do that.
It's like the post-nut clarity.
What?
You know, like the post-nut clarity. It's like, why did I do that? Like,
Fucking guy.
Oh, okay,
Right,
yeah.
That's
Oh,
funny,
yeah,
I'm not
you guys
gonna
have
lie.
felt that, right? When you, okay,
yeah.
when you've
All the
ejaculated and you've seen something and you're doing it over something and you're thinking to yourself, what the actual fuck?
wait,
every-
doing over something? Wait, what?
Like porn, bruv, like porn. whatever it may be, porn, maybe you're thinking of something, I don't know, some of you got like visual learners and shit, whatever the fuck it is, right? You're thinking to yourself, okay, what have I just done? Like, you know when you like hit reality? That's what it is. When you're like, fuck is that? Not to be an ass, the fuck is that? I've done that many times. I'm like, doing my business, and then at the end, when the business is finished, I'm like, the fuck was I looking at?
Yeah,
That
I was
shit
gonna
looks
say.
ugly. That shit is ugly. That's genuinely
Gross.
what I
Right.
think. I'm like, the fuck is this?
Right,
that
right.
that got me excited.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
right.
And you guys, you must have all felt that at one point,
Oh yeah, 100%. I've
right?
been there.
I'm not the only
I-
dickhead.
No, you're not. You're actually not. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. Oh,
But okay, I get you guys.
mhm.
I understand a little bit more because what you guys were saying, I did somewhat understand initially, but I just wanted you guys to be much more clear about it because
Yeah.
you guys were answering it very vaguely. You giving, I get like you get what I mean. But right now we understand you a lot more. But do you guys feel like you are less interested or have less time for people overall? And another question I'd like to add on is something I said earlier, which I asked Hash, but also you, Blowfish.
Okay.
Because you think people are less interesting or they can help you less and you give them less time, does that mean you're not as open to meeting new people and starting new conversations?
Ooh, interesting. Honestly, for me, Sid, when the first half of the question, for me, it's more just like I don't have time for people, right? I wouldn't say that I'm less interested overall.
Well,
Because,
I'm saying new people
new people. Okay, for new
because
people.
it could be Joe Schmo, right? Your best friend, well, not your best friend. You're like your friend Joe Schmo from University of Toronto that you went
Okay.
to with, right? You shared a dorm with him. He's cool, but he's not really doing anything anymore. Like he's not gonna help you at all. He doesn't engage in good conversation. He's not there for you. He's just kind of like the guy you go get drinks with and stuff like that. I'd consider him not worth your time.
I agree.
There.
But I'm talking about new interactions with
Oh yeah,
new
no.
people.
For new
Are
people,
you
no.
more open? Like, are you still the same amount, or are you less open to it because you realize how much people won't understand the situation that you're in?
For me, it's no. I'm still fairly open to new people actually, Sid, because well, that's kind of part of the job as a streamer, right? In order to really put yourself out there, even if like even if they're not on the same wavelength in that sense, I still genuinely want to try to get to new people, know people, right? And if something's not working, then it is what it is, and you move on to find new other new people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of my friends off that don't stream, right? Like I still keep in contact with them and I still meet new people through them. And they always ask like, "Hey, what do you do?" Like, "What do you do?" So I tell them and they get super interested in that, and then I get to educate them on that sort of world, right? And then I ask them about their stuff and then they educate me on that kind of thing, and every time I see them, it's always a good time, right? So, yeah, I'm still definitely into meeting new people, right? Because to me that's kind of like part of the job.
Okay.
In air quotes,
Yeah. What
right?
about you, Hash?
I think I'm more interested in people in Twitch, like a Twitch chat, than people like at my university. I kid you not. I
I'm
swear.
so. But what about outside though?
Yeah.
I would much rather. I have more fun and I feel more. It sounds really selfish. More gain, right? Whether it just be advice, not physical gain, like just mental gain, through people in a Discord server, which I feel like whether it be the Discord server I'm in or whether it be the Twitch chat, etc., than just meeting random strangers, because I feel like a lot of people are in sheep mentality, and what I mean by sheep mentality is they're okay to not spend. I don't know the right word. Not okay. I feel like a lot of people are chasing something, but they don't know what. That's everyone. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of people are reiterating what they've been told is what they should be chasing, and I see that in many, and that I just like, it's just I see that in many people, sort of thing, and that's why I have more fun talking to people on Twitch chat, because they are more into like, oh my god, like we also want to stream. Oh my god, we also want to have a YouTube. Oh my god, this is quite good. Oh my god, this is trending. Oh my god, this is cool. All that shit. You know what I mean? Over people who don't even know what Twitch is. You know what I mean? Most people don't know what Twitch is.
Okay, but here's the thing. I feel like you're coming from a very biased standpoint because the people you meet on Twitch are progressively helping you on Twitch,
Yeah.
right? So it's something that you're interested in. So of course they're going to be more interesting towards you. right? However, check someone like Fahim, who didn't know anything about Twitch. He didn't watch streamers, didn't play games, or I don't think he played games. He's like fucking 80 years old.
Yeah,
mentally,
true. Yeah,
right?
yeah, true.
He didn't do it, but he's one of your most active viewers. He makes YouTube videos about you. He promotes you and stuff. He's supporting you everywhere. That's someone who didn't know anything about Twitch. And I feel like if you come from a very biased standpoint, saying, I'm not going to enjoy this person as much as I think I will, I think that's very stupid because you're negating yourself from the opportunity that you might have. There's a couple people from my workplace, Tesco's, right? I work in a supermarket. There's people that are like 26, 27. One of them's like 32, right? I never thought they would be into anime, be into video games. I thought they were just those typical guys that, like, low-key borderline racist, but they're actually some of the nicest people, right? They're so nice. And I was like, why did I think they were ever racist? But I talked to them about video games. They talked to me about they were like, hey, like, what games do you play and stuff like that? Oh, what anime do you watch? And I talked to them, and I genuinely didn't think, I never gave them a chance for about 4 months. 4 months of working with them, like 3-4 times a week, and I'd see them about 8 hours every single day. So 4 times 8, 32 hours a week. I'd see them 32 hours a week for about 4 months, and I didn't talk to them.
Damn.
And now I'm like really good friends with them, and they're like trying to get me to go back on Twitch because one of them was like, oh yeah, like do you stream by any chance? And I was like, oh, I used to. I don't anymore. Like, I don't find as much enjoyment in it, so that's why I stopped. And then they were like, oh, like, you seem like you'd be someone who'd be a pretty good streamer because like we play Valorant and stuff like that. They knew my ranking. They were like, like, and you got a nice personality. You're pretty easy to get along with. I think you might be a pretty good streamer. And I was like, oh, I did used to stream. And they're like, oh, what kind of views did you used to get? I was like, I don't know, like a measly 10, 15. At my peak, which was like Gartic phone, but I really won't count that. I was getting like 30 to 40, but then that was like all these little kid, like 12-year-old Andy's just getting, please play Gartic, can I play too? Like, it was just that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, they would never come back onto the stream. They just find someone else's lobby to join. So I never count them as viewers or subscribers. But yeah, like this 32-year-old that I thought would not know anything about streaming video games and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, my son's really into it, and he's had to sell his PC because he's got a son on the way. So he's like 32, he's some shit year old's about to be a granddad. And he's talking to me about I should come back into streaming because he really thinks I have the personality for it and stuff. I feel like you guys are negating so much opportunities if you think in that way. I feel like every opportunity you can get, you guys should take. Meet new people, give them a chance.
I agree. But you saw these people 4 times 32 hours a week, right?
I was gonna mention that.
That is like, fuck, man. If I was with someone 32 hours a week, I'd have to know about them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're with them for so long. But like, I'm talking like if I met a group of people. I am a prick. I'm gonna own it and say I am that asshole. I'm not judgmental in the sense I'm like, oh, you're this, fuck you. I'm judgmental in the sense I'm like, alright, bro, we don't align. I'm quick to say. Okay.
I'll give you. Can I quickly give you a different example?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Right. One of my jobs at Tesco is I'm a loader. I load the vans for the drivers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A new driver, never seen him before. Never seen him before in my life. I said, hey, what's up? Are you new? He says, yes, I am. Like, how are you doing? This is my first day or second day, whatever, something like that, right? And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And at the time, he told me, oh, I'm only doing temporary. I'm only gonna be here for a couple months, and I'm gonna go. It's because right now my business is down. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was just talking to him, and I asked him, what do you do for your business? And he says, oh, I'm like a recruit management or something. So he recruits people and stuff. And it's like, oh, what do you do? I was like, at the time I was doing university. I was in second year of university doing psychology. I was like, oh, I do psychology. I'm in second year. I'm about to finish second year. He was like, oh, you only have 1 year, right? And I was like, yeah, I only have 1 year left. And he's like, my friend is actually looking for someone to work under his under him, looking for someone who does psychology, has a degree in psychology, bachelor's degree in psychology. He's willing to pay around 32K first year. right after uni. If you want, I can put your name in there. Never knew him before. First time, just because I just put myself out there. Gave him the same opportunity that someone I knew 32 hours in a week.
Okay, but if at that point you didn't get that out of this driver,
Driver,
yeah, out of
yeah.
this driver, if you didn't get that sentence of like that opportunity which he told you about, he was my friend, blah 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 blah, would you have then in your mind be like, alright bro, whatever, like I'm not gonna put energy, I got other shit to
No,
focus
not
on.
necessarily.
Really, because at that point, if I had heard
I-
that
I-
first bit, but if I hadn't heard that, I'd have been alright man, whatever, like you do you, I do
No,
me.
I got to that point because I gave him an opportunity. So it wasn't just straight up like, I have a job for you, 32K. It was because I was talking to him,
I see what you mean.
and
Yeah.
it led
You're
to
right.
what are you doing and stuff like that. Of course, I'm skipping a bit of lines here and there. You know, you
yeah.
obviously have the small talk.
Yeah,
You get a feel for each other's personalities and stuff. Like, of course, he's not gonna offer us just some random
stranger.
Tesco
Yeah, you know,
worker.
yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
oh,
like, hey.
let me call in my buddy and just offer you a 32K job.
No,
Do
I
you get what
think
I'm
you're
saying?
right. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right in that sense.
I
Because
understand
even
that.
at work, there are some people who like I told you, I met an OnlyFans model at work one time, and it took her like 20 minutes. By the way, in a phone shop, you spend an hour in person easily. It's common. It's common because by the time you
If
do
Hash is your
paperwork,
server, you might spend 3 to 4.
3 to 4 hours. Yeah,
I would
whatever.
agree, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
whatever.
agree.
Yeah.
But like, because by the time you process signing, legal shit,
Yeah,
and then
by
a lot of
the
them want.
downloads to, like the sponsors and plays the games and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It took 20 minutes. That's long, man. 20 minutes in to say she's OnlyFans, but I only got that because I did that. But you're right, because I normally just wait, and if they gauge my interest, like, because I work in a really rich area where I'm working. I don't live there, but I work in a rich area, right? And you meet some crazy rich people. Like today, I met some social media fucking director. Super interesting, because she just taught me a lot about PR and shit, which I didn't even know existed. I was like, oh crap, that's a new world. But like, yeah, I am an asshole. I kind of, if I don't get that initial spark, I don't push it. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Like, you're right. It's a flaw in myself. I should, make and try and gain more in this little the time that I have and make an opportunity. But I'm not gonna like kind of back down straight away. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Like, because you mentioned that, Sid. Like, I actually, I don't know if you guys were there when I like kind of dyed my hair black blue. Like, I dyed my hair black blue like that one time during the summer, and the person who did it for me, she's like, "Hey, what do you do outside of this, right?" And like, I literally told her, it's like, "Hey, here's what I do." She's like, "Oh, you're on TikTok. It's like, are you like a social media guy?" I was like, "Well, yeah, kind of in a sense, right?" She's like, "What else do you do?" And I'm like, "I also try, like I'm starting to make my voiceover demo." And then she's all like, "You said voiceover?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "My daughter, she does that." And then I immediately asked her, I was like, "Hey, do you think that your daughter could help me out a bit if that's possible, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, seriously, leave your name here and then leave your number and then we'll see if she contacts you." I was like, "Cool." So I did that,
Yeah.
right? And not only that, but like, yes, literally, this happened last week. I'm like, oh my god. A streamer friend that rated into me, she's like super duper sweet, right? And then, her and I were talking, and she was like, "Hey, you're into voice acting, right?" I was like, "Of course." And she's like, "Do you know the studio Bang Zoom?" And what Bang Zoom is it's one of the biggest dubbing studios next to like closest to Funimation, right? And she's like, "Yeah, my friend's the CEO." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And she's like, "No, I'm dead serious." She's like, "Did you want me to put in a word for you?" I was like, "Yeah, do that, sure." But like, if you could get his email somehow, sure, that's great. If not, no harm, no foul, because CEO is a fucking busy job. I'm sure they get
100%.
millions of emails like every day.
I'm sure they don't even do shit either. Like,
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't mean
saying.
like that, but I mean in
Oh,
terms
I
of
know.
recruiting people, they
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "So I tried. So your best bet is literally just to like ask about workshops and then eventually get to." And I was like, "All right, true. Thanks for trying though, right?" But, like, yeah, like I still do that kind of stuff whenever the opportunity arises, right? That's like another way of me putting myself out there. Because I'm like,
I feel like you should take every opportunity you can.
every
I
opportunity.
genuinely, I know you guys find real life kind of separate to Twitch life and stuff like that.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like
yeah.
it's all connected in one,
I think so.
honestly. Because yes, you're not working as hard and making enough TikToks and fitting the criteria of what you want, right? But say when you're at the phone shop, Hash, right?
Yeah.
You can't be making TikToks. What can
Yeah.
you do? You can be engaged in conversation with new people that you meet.
Yeah, true.
Like
True,
the
true, true.
OnlyFans thing. Dude, you could have been on the OnlyFans and she could have given you a shout out on your Twitch.
She's really big
That's
on
what I'm
OnlyFans.
saying,
She has
right? That's
This
what I'm saying.
penis is #champ on Twitch.tv.
You see that head there, yeah.
Mine's tiny though, so it wouldn't even be worthy of a
Oh.
picture. Yeah.
Tiniest penis ever.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv /
Yeah,
#champ.
Hey.
/#champ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Watch out, man.
it's like you do what you gotta do, man. Is all I'm gonna say to that. Oh Lord.
Okay. That was a beautiful segment. I didn't even realize how long we talked for, but we should move on to the second segment that we're gonna talk about. Are people too sensitive? And we've already touched on this.
True.
However, I feel like it's been some time, and maybe your thoughts change. I remember Hash saying he has a really good one, so I want to save him for
Yeah.
last.
Okay,
Blowfish,
fair
can you
enough.
go first? Do you
Sure.
think people are too sensitive?
Honestly speaking, to a degree, yeah, I would kind of I definitely agree because like at one point, so yesterday a friend of mine actually experienced this. I didn't experience this, but you know he went on a rant to me yesterday saying like, hey, like, do you mind if we can talk for 5 minutes? Like, everything okay? So he was on this random person's stream, right? And you know, she asked literally like, hey, like, what are your experiences with dating? You know, you could get into like, you know, just like dating other races and whatnot. Like, what was that like for
Yeah.
you? So he was actually like getting into his dating history and, you know, telling his preferences. The guy gets banned and timed out for it, right? So then she's like, oh,
From Twitch,
yeah, like from her
For-
stream, right?
right?
And he's just like, wait, what the fuck, right? So, you know, she noticed this. She's like, no, unban him. Like, this is fine, right? Like, what's going on? So, you know, basically, you know, the mod messaged him saying like, hey, like, I know that you weren't trying to be racist or anything, but like, we can't take chances because, you know, that could be against Twitch TOS. But all he really said was like, hey, like, I've had a harder time dating black women over like white women or Asian women, whatnot, right? Like, that's all he was really saying. He wasn't saying anything outwardly racist. But like from that there, like, that solidified to me. I was like, wow, a lot people are much more sensitive nowadays, right? Like, the moment that any race gets brought up in that case that my friend told me about, you know, like, they start, you know, pointing their guns at him, like, they're saying like, hey, that's racist. I'm like, well, no, he's just saying he's had a harder time for, you know, with certain races. So I would still definitely say like people are a bit too sensitive in that aspect. Like, I'm all for not offending anyone, but, you know, at the same time, like, come on, guys, that's like how I feel, you know.
No, I agree, man. I think it would be racist if it was like, just because of my experience, I'm not dating a black girl ever again. That's different.
He didn't say that. He's like, I've dated like different kinds of races, but he didn't outwardly say like, I don't date black women for this reason. I'm like, no, he's just saying I had a hard time dating them. That's it. That's all he left it at, right? Anyway, Hash, go ahead.
But I also feel like, right, that example is like the one or two times I could say people are too sensitive. But I actually would be the biggest advocate for everyone's a pussy and all that shit. However, I would say literally like a week ago, my view on that has all changed. I think I'm the selfish
That's why I
motherfucker.
thought so. That's why I wanted to raise this question as well. Because I remember Hash was the biggest advocate saying, yeah, people are too sensitive in this generation. Like, we come from a, like, me and Hash, and Blowfish as well, we come from a very traditional background. We've been brought up very traditionally. We've been, you know, thought, you know, boys don't cry kind of stuff. So, yeah. But go on, Hash.
I actually, like I was saying, if you asked me this like a month ago, I'd say everyone's a little bitch. They just cry over everything. However, I've come to really think about it. Like, I growing up have said everything. As a kid, everything. It was allowed. There wasn't no you can't say it. It was all a joke. Everything was accepted as a joke. You know what I mean? You could fucking say, you can make gay jokes. You can make fucking every joke in the world. There wasn't no why can't you say it? It's a joke, man. It's a joke. You know, take it, Sid. I'm roasting Nepali culture. It's a joke, bro. It's alright. You know, all that shit. But I've come to realize it's anyone who says that people are too sensitive are just selfish. They want the world to work around their way. Because you don't relate to it, so it's considered sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
It's typically when that kind of stuff happens is you're all good for it unless it affects you, right? Me as a straight Asian man, I might be making jokes about gay black people, right?
Yeah.
And say, like, a gay black person was to say, hey, fuck that shit, you know what, you're gonna make fun of me, I'm gonna make fun of you. I would get butthurt and be like, oh my god, you can't say that, that's racist.
Yeah.
Typically, that's like, because it's affecting me, right? If there's a joke directed at me, it's gonna affect me and I'm gonna feel like injustice. I used to remember there was a situation when a group of kids were like calling me and my friends chinks while we were like in the shopping mall and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And we were like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. And
Fucked up. I'm not
whatever,
gonna
right?
lie.
Huh?
That's pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
fucked up, right? It's
That's
fucked
pretty
up, and
fucked up.
we were angry. But
Yeah.
would we have been just as angry as if like some other thing happened to some other ethnic group? We'd be like, what the fuck? But we wouldn't be to the point where we'd be like,
Get mad,
we're gonna
yeah.
fight these guys. Like we genuinely wanted to fight these fucking kids.
Yeah.
These like 14, 15-year-old kids. We were like 18, and we were chasing them around the fucking shopping mall saying we want to fucking beat these kids up.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have gone to the same extent if it was a different ethnic group. We would have been like, what the fuck? You guys need to shut up. Or we wouldn't gone to that extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so recently I've come to more aware of this concept of privilege, right? And what I mean by privilege is, for example, I could go at any time of day and not feel anything. I don't think anyone will touch me. I've never feared. I'm not saying I can't be touched. I've never feared I'll get touched. I never fear I'll get hurt. I never fear anyone can do anything. I'm just walking to the shop and back. I'm going for a morning jog at 3 in the fucking morning. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna come back. Period. Put my music in. No one's gonna touch me.
Yeah, I remember Hash used to do like late night walks as well,
the
right?
time,
Like
all the
with
time.
both headphones in and stuff. You don't know anything about your surrounding. Like someone could sneak up behind you.
Until one time my sister sent me and we were walking. And she was walking ahead of me, I was walking behind her. And we were just talking about music listening. And I was like, yeah, I can't hear stuff outside because I have my music always on max loud. I don't know what's going on behind me, in front of me, sides, left.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I don't. I was like, what? How do you enjoy your walk
Yeah.
with quiet music? How can you enjoy a
Yeah.
walk with quiet music? The whole point is to zone out. That's the point of the
Pretty
walk.
much, yeah.
But
I
she was
agree
like,
with that.
yeah, but I'm not, like I am 5'3". I would say she's quite thin. She's thin.
Does she wear a hijab?
No, does not.
Okay.
5'3",
'Cause,
thin female.
yeah.
And at that point, I was like, you know what, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff that
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of. And I feel with this topic of sensitivity, there's certain things you won't even fucking understand, man. Like, jokes towards a transgender, I won't get. I won't get it.
100%.
I won't get it. I
100%.
can't relate to it. But I've just got to accept that you can't say it because it fucking hurts people, man. It's not necessary. You got to, the same way that if a female gets scared to go out at night, yeah, but I'm not scared. Why do you get scared? Why are you scared? You know what, Blowfish? Why are you scared to go out at night? I'm not scared. I've just got to accept that there are certain things I can't fathom because I can never relate to it.
Yeah, and then there are people that are from that group that are like, hey, I'm part of this group and I don't mind, right? I like Hash is an example as well. Like Hash is Pakistani, but he'll let me make fun of Pakistanis and like
go for
Pakistani
it.
culture as a
Yeah,
whole, right?
yeah.
But then that's because we're friends and I know he's okay with it. But if you were to cut up all the TikTok clips and stuff like that and then post it on like Pakistani talk, right? I'd be fucking not crucified because that's a Christian thing. Well, what would I be?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Stoned
I'll-
to death. I don't fucking know.
Stoned to death.
Stoned to
Yeah,
death.
yeah. I'll
Burned
be
at the
stoned
stake.
to death.
Sure, burned at the stake. We'll go with that. I don't know. Yeah.
No, you're right. And I think a lot of it is when you can't relate, people are like sensitive. It's selfish,
Yeah.
and I think it's a privilege you're not aware of. You've got to really think. And there's certain things in life, lads. And I'm not saying you guys are not like this. I'm just saying in general, I think we should just accept there are certain things we won't fucking get. You know what I mean? Why does the gay person get offended when someone makes that joke? It won't offend me. That's cool, but I'll just I'll accept it. But then there is a couple examples of where I'm like, shut the fuck up, like Blowfish's example. There's many examples like Mr. Beast recently made a video 100 girls versus 100 boys. He got people hating on him because he didn't include other genders and stuff. But like, it's not that he didn't include other genders. He just picked these two genders. That's not something to get pissed off about. Just
That's
take
another
it.
thing.
If he did 100 girls versus girls, another 100 girls would be alright. But it's just he just picked two genders out of however many. But that's not like him saying I'm not gonna pick the other genders. I'm not gonna pick gender X Y Z. You know what I'm saying? Like a different one, a different variable.
Yeah.
And that shit I'm like shut the fuck up. But those are such small examples, and people are always quick to use them. You know what I mean? People are always quick to use the small examples, but that's so fucking rare.
Yeah.
But 95% aren't that. And people should know that at the back of their mind. That's the minority by a big amount. like the Mr. Beast example and the Blowfish example. That's such a minority that I wouldn't even. But that's all we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Mr.
Yeah.
Beast accounts. That's why people are too sensitive. Yeah, okay, that's
I
right.
feel like everything should be looked at in terms of the intent of it, if it's malicious or if it's not malicious. That's my whole thing. I feel like I genuinely do feel like you should be looking at jokes and stuff like that with the intent of it, right? Like one of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle, he makes so many jokes which are fucked up. But if you look at the intent of it, it's never to be malicious. It's never to hurt the person. It's more so, what the fuck?
Awareness.
I'm just getting a random Discord message. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but it's never to hurt the people. It's more to further the way that people are thinking and further the way that people understand the situation. He used to make a lot of jokes that he is a black man, but he used to make a lot of jokes about black men and like the stereotypes they fit in and stuff like that, right? It wasn't to make fun of black men. It was to make fun of the idea on the stereotypes that people put on black men, right?
Yeah.
He used to make fun of Asian people. He's like, you can't, and he's literally dating an Asian woman. He used to, and people used to say, "Oh my God, you're so racist to Asian people" and stuff like that. It was never to make fun of Asian people. It was the stereotype around Asian people. You know?
Yeah. I get
I
that.
feel like everything has to be looked at intent, and like it's a little bit difficult to look at intent because different people are going to have different perceptions. Someone's going to look at the borderline and someone's going to go look in depth, which is the difficult part.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. No, like that's the whole point of Dave Chappelle's thing, right? To make people just more aware, right?
Okay. But with that being said, we can move on because I agree with what both of you guys said. There's bits where I do think people are a lot more sensitive, and I feel like we aren't sensitive, and you know everything's good. Next topic is, why do you feel some people stay in toxic relationships or environments? Hash, would you like to take it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like they enjoy it.
Think
I'm
they
not
enjoy it.
joking. No, I'm serious. I feel like I remember talking to this person, right, who had an abusive partner. And this person used to, like, it was weird because it was their life, they were aware of it. And yeah, they're scared, don't get me wrong. They are scared. And a lot of it is because of fear, right? But I think a part of them was so used to it that if they went against their norm, they couldn't do that. Does that make sense? So, like, because I get hit all the time, I'm in an abusive relationship, I don't want to leave that, as fucked up as that sounds. You do want to leave it, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants to get hit, of course. But
Yeah.
changing your norm is something humans struggle to do, I believe. We struggle to do that. And I believe that's why people stay in these toxic relationships and environments. Yeah, of course, there's also like fear. That's a big one. And people threaten their lives and shit. Don't get me wrong, that exists. But I believe sometimes it's because, and let's say it's not an abusive relationship. Then let's just go into emotionally fucking abusive, emotionally toxic, like just making them feel like shit 24/7. Blowfish, you're so fucking useless as a person. Just constantly me saying these things to you all the time, and me really destroying your self-image, making you feel like you are genuinely useless. I may be a cunt, but I genuinely believe that, yeah, the person who's mean is a prick, yeah, but the other person's also part to fault, because I feel like they are accepting their norm and not breaking out of that. I know it's hard, I know it sucks, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but I feel like they are also scared to break their norm. People know, man, no one's an idiot. I believe people who get used 9 times out of 10 are aware they are being used. They just let it happen.
Yeah. They just let it happen.
Why do they let? I always question that. Why do you let it happen then? But
I feel like it's insecurity. I feel like insecurity and it's lack of, not faith, but they don't value themselves enough.
That makes sense.
Like,
okay.
I don't know if you remember, Hash, but on Instagram, on my close friend story, there was a time when I was like, some of you guys need to value yourself more. You need to value your time, and like you need to value what can happen and what can't happen. And that's coming from someone who didn't value themselves, right? Um, you stay in the toxic relationship because you kind of don't feel like you can do better. You feel like this person, if you don't value yourself enough, you think this person has taken a chance and they've actually done something good by being with me. Like I'm lucky to be in a
Grateful. Yeah,
relationship
yeah,
with this
yeah.
person. I'm grateful because they don't value themselves enough. I know he hits me because he hits me out of love. He loves me so much that like when I do something wrong, like he's just trying to like fix it kind of thing, right? And or it could be the opposite where you value yourself and you think, like I think I can fix this guy or I can fix her, right?
Mhm.
You get into that state. I just genuinely think it's just how you value yourself.
There. Okay. Honestly, guys, I agree with I agree with Sid in this one. Like, I think insecurity is definitely a big part of it. Another thing for me is like it also depends on how long this relationship goes on for, right? So, say if it goes on for like a few years, right?
Mhm.
At that point, the person's not going to leave. I think for me, I forgot what the term is. If you can remember it, Sid. I remember, talking about this in one of my psychology classes with my profs, right? And
Mhm.
if you can remember the term, Sid, go ahead. But like, it was something like basically what the term means is like, hey, it's too hard to walk away from something that you essentially have put in work
Mhm.
from, right? Even
Mhm.
if it's bad for you. So I think it's more of just like the amount of work put in. It's like, hey, you've been dating this person for
Yeah,
5, maybe 6 years.
you've invested
Breaking
so
up with them,
much,
yeah,
right?
you've invested so much.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck am I gonna walk away? But like, so there's gonna be your friends or your families or people who care about you. They're saying like, hey, he, she, they're not good for you. Like they hit you, they berate you on a daily. They make you feel like shit. Like, so why are you staying with them? And they're like, well, I've been dating them for 6 years. I've invested so much. So what
Yeah.
what point would there be to walk away? You know what I mean?
No, and
Right?
not
Like
just
I
that,
think
but you
that,
also see the good in them, right?
yeah,
Because in that 6 years,
that's
it
the
can't
thing.
have all been bad. Because if it's all been bad, then it wouldn't get to 6 years. There's gonna
Yeah,
be good times that you've had with this person. You would be like,
that's
oh,
another thing.
I've had good memories, and the good times are so good, but
And
the
they
bad times
value
are
those
so
good
bad.
memories so hard. That's like a part of
Yeah,
them being
because
like,
that's
this is why,
that's
like,
that's what you want to
there's good
remember.
there, but like at the same time, 70% of the time I'll say they're gonna be toxic to you, right?
Mhm.
That's like the 30% that you're holding on so hard to, that 30% that it's hard to walk away from
100%.
at that point. And like, I get that, but at the same time, like, take care of yourself too, like that's how I generally feel. And I get that it's hard to walk away from, but you know, that's
That's
up, like
that's
you
kind
can
of
only
what I
help so
mean,
much.
though. Yeah, but like the breaking out of their norm, breaking out of your norm is
Yeah.
like understanding. It sounds mean that you are an insecure motherfucker. You know what I'm
It
saying?
it is,
Yeah, it
it is,
is.
but it's very difficult.
It is
Like
100%
it's
get it,
so
man.
easy for us to say it,
A
but
Yeah.
100% with, and it's like one of those like easier said than done sort of vibes, and I'm with that. But I do feel like a lot of the time people are in toxic relationships. Yeah, it is because of insecurity. You guys have friends who've been in relationships and they're not good ones. You hear them,
Yeah.
and we've all had a friend or someone we know who's been in what we would consider on paper a toxic relationship. They argue
Mhm.
all the time. They don't get on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like not even abusive, like not even physically abusive. They just argue. They don't get
yeah,
on. They're
Yeah.
two peas from different pods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
But even like even with those, I really feel like as if they're willing to work on that concept of what is the fucking issue, I feel like these people are aware of what's going on. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. They know they're not in a healthy relationship. They know that. They might deny it. That's different to
Yeah.
people's faces, but deep down they know what's up, and they need to be willing to change their norm and really work upon and analyze, what the fuck is going on? Why the
Yeah.
fuck am I here? Like when I the person I knew who was in, why the fuck do I allow myself to get hit?
Mhm.
And then and why do I allow it?
let's not like can we not use like hitting and stuff like that because I feel like that's a bit too.
Yeah, of course, man.
General.
Of
Yeah,
course, of course, of
so
course.
let's just talk about emotional and stuff like that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
just feel like
But I
it
feel
might be
like
a trigger or something for
yeah,
some
yeah,
people
yeah.
in chat.
Fair enough.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I feel like people should be willing to, and I know it's easier said than done to like
Mhm.
see that, like why am I doing this and change that to break out of it. But that, course, that's not easily done. You know what I mean? That's like a tough thing to do. But yeah, I agree with you know,
Yeah.
it is a lot of times
Yeah.
there can be insecurities and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because I have a friend who is in a relationship with a girl, right? And basically that girl cheated on him in the club with another friend of mine from a different friendship group, so they didn't know each other,
Damn.
right? So the two boys and the boy and the girl don't know each other, and basically she cheated on him. Like she was like kissing him and stuff like that, which I would 100% consider cheating.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they didn't have sex or anything, but they still like it's still cheating, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, look, like I'm okay with it. Like we can just ignore this, and it's just genuinely because he doesn't value himself enough in the relationship, because he's never been the type to be like chasing a girl until this girl, because he really thought, oh my god, this one is the one for me. Like
Yeah.
this is the wife, this is the love of my life. And he's like, look, I'm willing to look this over. Like just don't do it again. Which I'm like, I'm so crazy. If I was in this
Yeah.
situation, I'm like, no, get the fuck
That'd be
away from
mad.
me.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Crazy.
we're over. Like I genuinely
Yeah.
thought they were gonna break up, and I thought it was gonna break his heart because he's been dating her for like, it's not long, it's a year and some change, but it's still the way that he loves is very extreme, and it's the first girl he's ever been interested in,
Mhm.
ever,
Wow, damn.
in like 20, 21, 22 years. The first girl he's ever even talked about. So yeah, it's
Feels
crazy.
bad.
It's
I
just
do
because he
feel
doesn't
bad.
value
Yeah,
himself.
I do feel
I
bad for
feel
him.
bad for him, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hopefully he figures out his value, man.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
But then going off from that, do you guys believe there is such a thing called right person and wrong time? And have you guys had experiences with it?
Honestly, for me, it's hard to say because
Oof.
like that has to do more with like fate. You know what I mean? Like, do you get what I mean by that, Sid? Like in the sense that like
Somewhat, yeah.
yeah, like that sounds to me more like, hey, someone is out there for you and it's already kind of predetermined kind of thing. I'm not really a huge believer in that, so I guess I'm in the sense that like no, mainly because like that kind of ties to that, but at the same time, like I've never really had that sort of situation, so I can't really like relate to that. One of my exes thought that was us, and I'm like, I don't think so. Like genuinely thinking, she's like, maybe I met you at the wrong you're the right person, but I met you at the wrong time, and
Yeah,
I had to
wrong
think
time.
about that, and I straight up told her, I was like, honestly, I don't agree with that because because I feel like when it comes to like relationships like that, like you can make it grow. You know what I mean? Like in the sense that like maybe you were good friends at first, then eventually it just builds up into a relationship, right?
Hmm.
So that's not necessarily like right person, wrong time. That's just right person in general, right?
Hmm.
As I don't know, like I'm not a huge believer in that. It's more just like I feel for me, relationships have to be built up. Whether you start off as just like love at first sight, good friends, or a fling even. Like it happens. Like flings, relationships just start from flings, right? So no, I'm not. I don't think I'm a big believer in that. What about you, Hash and Sid?
Right person, wrong time. I used to at
Yeah,
one
it's a
point
tough
be like,
one.
is that could be it? But then I'm like, if this is the wrong time, then shit will always change in the future. Then it will be
Yeah,
a wrong time again.
fair
It'll be
enough.
another wrong time.
Hmm.
So like
Okay, how about this, Hash? How about this? What if Poonam? Okay, when did you start streaming? How many years ago? Like 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago, yeah,
How long into a relationship were you with Poonam?
3,
3 years, right?
yeah.
3 years of your relationship, you want to do streaming and stuff like that, and then you're not focusing on your studies and like what you had predetermined and what you led Poonam on to believe, right? Because before streaming, you didn't talk about streaming, I'm assuming,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
After 3 years, let's say you're halfway through your first year of streaming, and Poonam's like, look, you never told me you wanted to be a streamer. I don't know if like I kind of want something else. Like I feel like you're putting your energy towards something else, right? And she was like, if you were like, if you can promise me that this is going to be something that we can live off of and going to earn us enough money, then I'll be able to accept you. And you love this girl and she loves you and you know for sure, right? And say, look, in 2 years' time, if you make an honest living, or not nothing stupid, she's not telling you to bring in 100,000 a month, something like, like a grand a month
Hmm.
to like maybe 1.5 grand a month.
Yeah.
Right? That's that's pretty low.
That's average. That's like
thingy.
average wage,
Yeah.
right? To like live.
I'd say it's on the lower spectrum,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So she's telling you that, and then like I'd want to continue this. That would be the right person, wrong time, would it not? Because you'd be like, okay, yeah.
But I
Or
feel
what would you
like
think?
in our life together, like
Mhm.
in my view, it's like this, right? If I'm dating Blowfish, me and Blowfish are
Hi.
dating. Hi. And Blowfish, the beauty of Blowfish as his own human, and the beauty of me as my own human is that in 10 years, let's say me and Blowfish together are going to be together until we're 80, right? So we've got another 50, 60 years together, right? In those 50,
Blowfish has
60
like 3 or 4.
yeah,
I have like 3, 4,
yeah,
bro.
true,
I'm
true,
sorry.
true,
This
true,
is
true,
this is
true.
unrealistic.
I'm
This
dating
is
Sid, I'm dating
unrealistic.
Sid, I'm dating Sid.
Hey,
But
there you
like
go, there you go.
the beauty of these like of this relationship between us is that at any point, Blowfish could tomorrow be like, hey, I wanna become a ballerina.
Mhm.
I wanna drop everything and become a ballerina. But
Mhm.
that will happen. It could fucking tomorrow be like, okay, let's say me and Blowfish could have kids together. We've talked about having kids our whole life, man. But Blowfish, I'm going to delay it for another 5 years. Those things, in my opinion, will always come. And I genuinely believe, hand on heart, maybe I'm living in a la la land. But if you really
Mhm.
want shit to work out, and it's not, in theory, it's not impacting me crazy by Blowfish wanting to be a ballerina. Like it is, but it's not like it's still his life at the end of the day, right?
It's
So
his
you would,
life, but it's let's say you were to live together and have a house together, it is impacting your life because
Yeah, in
you're
that
not getting the
sense.
same
let's
amount
think
of support
at that point,
that
yeah,
you
we
needed.
speak about it, we talk about it, all that stuff. But that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of it. Shit happens that you don't even know,
Mhm.
and the wrong time will happen in every relationship 5 times throughout your
Yeah.
whole relationship 5 times, because there's gonna be shit. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? My first one is
Yeah.
streaming. Where the fuck did that come from? After
Right.
3 years, you don't care about your degree as much. You don't care about anything you said in the first 3 years, and now you want to be a streamer. Okay, well, through pattern, you in a year are gonna change again. But I don't feel
Mhm.
like that. But through
Let's
pattern, I'm gonna change
okay.
again.
How about first couple years? Actually, no, never mind. That's completely different. Don't worry about it.
But that's
Oh.
yeah. So like right person, wrong time. I feel like is
It's stretching
after a
it.
It's
certain
more
age.
to be honest, right person, wrong time is more so in the talking stage rather than it is when you're dating. Because when you're dating, that's just the troubles of dating, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
in this together already. It's more so in the sense of meeting someone and you're like talking to someone and you're trying to make them your girlfriend or boyfriend. I'm not gonna judge. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're not talking to someone, then yeah, fuck you. You're not important enough. But if you're dating, then I feel like wrong time comes like millions. So you know when people use that
I mean,
excuse of, oh, you're
it,
the
it
right
won't be
person
a
for
wrong
me,
time
Sid.
because this is the person you decided to spend your life with.
But many couples do that though, Sid. We've been together 2 years now, you and I. Okay, Sid, what you're doing is not right for me, bro. I feel like if we met in 5 years, Sid, oh, we'd be happy, lovey-dovey. But because you're now pursuing, you want to become a professional bodybuilder, and because Blowfish is now pursuing ballet, that's it. Wrong time. In 5 years, when you make it, Blowfish, Sid, when you make it, but then I feel like in that 5 years, it'll be something else. Something else. You're gonna,
You grow apart from each other. You'd be
Exactly.
different people.
yeah.
Understand? I used to believe that right person, wrong time did exist. I mean, I did go through it where I was ready to give it all to this girl, right? And
Mm.
then she just wasn't because she wanted someone with she wanted someone a little bit more stable. This is when I was still like streaming like crazy, and I was like trying to like make something of streaming, but I was spending a lot of my time doing it and not thinking about the more corporate side and the more stable 9 to 5 side, which is what she was looking towards, or just like enough to be able to fund myself
Yeah.
and like my habits and such, right?
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought it was the right person, but it was the wrong time, and I was gonna die to my grave. I was gonna go to my grave saying that was the right person, wrong time. But then the more I'm thinking about it, like, and the more I really like listen to my friends and stuff like that, I realize there's no such thing as right person, wrong time. Because if it's the right person, there would be no wrong time. Because the right person, wrong time kind of takes in this situation where it's your destiny, it's your fate, like Blowfish said, right?
Yeah.
It's your soulmate. It's the
Yeah.
person that clicks with you, the person that will support you there through and through, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that was the right person, there's not going to be a wrong time. Like, they're going to be there for you regardless of where you're at. If you're at the lowest point of your life, or if you're fucking Jeff fucking Bezos and you're, you know, like, they're going to be there for you, and they're going to be the right person through the whole time.
Like, literally, yeah, man, Jeff Bezos and his wife recently divorced. They, in theory, have everything which the average couple would struggle with.
Yep.
Unlimited money. Really, realistically, right? They can do whatever the fuck
I
they
think
want.
right now Jeff Bezos just wants someone younger to fuck.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. They probably like we're bored and shit. But, like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, if they found a wrong time, you know what I'm saying, then...
Jeff Bezos would not be where he's at if it wasn't for his wife.
Yeah, he
That's what
accepted
people
that.
don't understand either.
Yeah.
Because he had to
There's
give
people-
50% of his net worth,
yeah.
right?
I don't think it's 50%.
A lot of it, and at court
A
he
lot.
said,
It was
I'm
50,
happy to give it and
50
not challenge
billion,
it.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 50 billion or something, and people were like, "Oh my god, like imagine just being married to Jeff Bezos and getting 50 million." No, she did fucking a lot.
Yeah.
She did.
She did
really did.
so fucking.
He didn't even
much.
challenge it. He went, I'm not going to go against
Yeah.
it because she helped me.
I mean, his net worth was like 250 to 300 billion at that point. So,
Mhm.
that was 50 bill.
True. Yeah, true. And yeah, true. But even then, people are bored, innit? He could have easily got the best lawyers just for a bit of fun. You know, just for a bit of spice in his life. But he was like, nah, she
Yeah.
deserves it, and all that BS. Maybe it was like a
Oh,
PR
100%.
stunt.
She 100%.
Maybe he was trying to be
Yeah.
the hero, maybe. Maybe he's trying to do some PR
You
shit.
think she's got like a really young boyfriend?
I don't know. She's a lot prettier than he is.
I would.
I would too. You just gotta have fun. You got the money to do whatever you
She got
want.
50 bill on top of however much money she had beforehand that she made by herself.
Very
That's, like,
true,
I'd
very
get
true,
fucking-
very true.
Yeah, I'd get a
Right.
fucking yacht and get a bunch of fucking young Russian guys to just run a train on me. If I was her, not right now. not right now. Like if I was
say.
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Said no man, to each their own, bro. We don't judge. You do what you want,
We
bro.
don't judge,
That's
we
what you
don't
want,
judge.
bro.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what you
yeah,
want,
I
bro.
know.
That's what you
It's
want, bro.
fine, it's
It's what you
fine,
want,
it's
bro. Like it is what it is, bro.
One
It's
love,
not-
one love, one love.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah,
Your life.
I'd love to be in the middle of a Russian bukkake.
Yeah, man. It is what it is, bro, and you should be proud of it. You know what I mean, bro? Like,
Uh-huh. Okay, with that, we've been running for quite a while, so I feel like we should end here, right?
Okay.
Blowfish and Hash, do you guys have anything to say?
Always participate in Russian trains on a yacht. Like, what about you, Hash?
Thank you so much for watching us, by the way, today. Yeah, it was me, Blowfish, and so streaming today. Blowfish will next be live tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching us, everyone. Next week, Sunday, we won't be streaming because I am in Turkey. I will not be in this motherfucking country. But don't cry too much. But thank you for watching us, everyone. We love you guys like crazy. You're all amazing people. Take care of yourselves. And check out Sid's Lamar Odom jersey, man. It's so hot. I've been fucking with it.
So
Yeah.
good.
Shaquille
He's doing
O'Neal.
the ice-
Yeah.
He's doing the
Post
Shaquille
for
O'Neal
the
ice in
thumbnails.
your veins, you know, sort of.
Oh, yeah, it's
pose.
crazy.
Post
It's
for the
crazy.
thumbnails. Post
Oh,
for
the thumbnails.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you. I have to hold it for a bit because it's hard to get. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Be safe.